Hi, I'm Dharya. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm showing you how to make a bakery style eggless choco mocha cake with all my tips and tricks. I will bake the cake in a kadhai while also sharing the oven settings. So let's get started. Let's start with the eggless chocolate cake batter. Take a bowl and keep a sieve on top. Add in flour, castor or powdered sugar, cocoa powder, baking soda, and salt. Sift everything together. Mix well to evenly combine everything and set aside. Take warm water and add instant coffee powder. Mix well and add this to the batter. Add in milk as well as the oil. Whisk everything to form a smooth batter. Coffee is added to enhance the chocolate flavor, but if you want, you can skip it and just add the warm water. Lastly, add in the vinegar. Whenever we are using baking soda in any recipe, we have to add an acid to help activate the baking soda. Some recipes use curd or buttermilk, which are both acidic in nature. In this recipe, I am using vinegar. If you don't have vinegar, you can replace it with lemon juice. Mix this well. You will notice that the mixture will start to bubble up as soon as we add in the vinegar. For baking, take a kadhai and cover the base with salt. I am using regular table salt, but it has turned brown because I have been using this since many years for baking. After baking the cake, don't throw the salt away, let it cool down and store it for your next bake. Salt is used for even baking. It absorbs heat from the flame and gently cooks the cake. Keep a small plate on top and cover it with a larger plate. Keep the kadhai on high flame for 7 to 8 minutes for preheating. Meanwhile, take a cake mold and brush it well with oil. Make sure to cover all the sides. Put a piece of baking paper at the base and pour in the batter. After the kadhai gets preheated, turn the flame to medium and keep the cake in to bake. Continue to cook at medium flame for 40 to 45 minutes or until a toothpick comes out clean when inserted. While baking, make sure that the kadhai is completely covered and no steam is escaping. If you want to bake this in an oven, preheat your oven at 170 degrees Celsius for 7 to 8 minutes. After preheating, bake at the same temperature for 35 to 40 minutes or until a toothpick comes out clean when inserted. After 40 minutes, check by inserting a toothpick in the middle of the cake. If the toothpick comes out clean, it means that the cake is done. If the toothpick comes out with batter or wet crumbs, cover the kadhai again and continue to cook for 4 to 5 minutes or until done. Cover the cake with a dry kitchen cloth and let it completely cool down. Meanwhile, let's make the ganache. Take a pan half filled with water and keep it on medium flame. Place a bowl on top and add in the chocolate. Make sure that the bowl is completely clean and dry. Add in the fresh cream. The chocolate will melt gently with the heat of the boiling water. This setup is known as the double boiler method or bain-marie in professional language. You can also make the ganache in the microwave. Make sure to mix it well after every 30 seconds so that the chocolate melts evenly. Chocolate is heat sensitive and burns very quickly, so we never heat it continuously for a long period of time. Keep stirring until the chocolate melts and the ganache comes together. Once the chocolate is completely melted, take it off the flame. Cover the ganache and let it come to room temperature. As the ganache cools down and comes to room temperature, the chocolate will set, making the ganache a little thick. After 1 hour, the ganache has set and is ready to be used. Let's transfer this to a piping bag. We always use ganache at room temperature. If the ganache is straight out of the fridge, it will be too hard. On the other hand, if the ganache is warm, it will be too flowy. Lastly, let's make the mocha frosting. Take chilled whipping cream in a bowl and start beating it at low speed. Here I'm using non-dairy whipping cream which is already sweetened, so I'm not adding any extra sugar. Beat it at low speed for 3 to 4 minutes. Once the cream gets a little voluminous, add in cocoa powder and coffee powder. Start beating again until everything is well combined. I am still beating the cream at the lowest speed. After a couple more minutes, increase the speed and beat until the cream forms stiff peaks. Transfer this cream to a piping bag as well. You should never keep whipped cream at room temperature. I'm keeping this piping bag along with the rest of the cream in the fridge right away until I'm ready to use it. Even while assembling the cake, I will only take out the piping bag and refill it as we go instead of taking the entire cream out at once. For soaking the cake layers, I'm using plain water, but you can also use black coffee to enhance the coffee flavor in every bite. After the sponge cools down, run a knife through the edges of the cake and flip it over. Let me show you how you can always cut straight layers of your cake. I like to use a large serrated knife for this step. Hold your knife straight at one position and start rotating the cake sponge to mark the edges. Keep in mind that in the first rotation we are not moving the knife, we are keeping it steady at one position and rotating the sponge to mark the first layer. After marking the thickness of the sponge from all sides, start moving the knife in a chainsaw manner while slowly rotating the sponge. This method of cutting will always give you straight cake layers. The key point is that the knife should be straight. For the topmost layer, I'm just trimming off some excess dough to make the cake even. Apply whipped cream at the cake base, which prevents the cake from slipping away. Start soaking the cake using a brush or spoon. Make sure to soak the entire surface well. This results in a super moist cake. I am putting the mocha cream evenly using a piping bag. You can also put the cream using a spoon and spread using a spatula, but the piping bag helps us to put the cream as even and straight as possible. And if the layer of the cream is straight, the layer of sponge on top of it will be straight as well, resulting in a straight cake. Use a palette knife to smoothen the top. Make sure to not move the cream or apply much pressure, just smoothen the top gently. Apply a thin layer of ganache. Repeat the same process once again. For the third layer, I am taking the top sponge and flipping it over to make sure we have a straight top. Soak it well. For the crumb coating, apply cream all over the cake. Use a palette knife to spread out the cream. Crumb coating means packing all the cake crumbs inside and making the cake surface as smooth as we can. It prepares the cake for a neater final finish. After spreading the cream, use a scraper to smoothen it out. Make sure to fill all the gaps with cream. Remove the excess cream and let the cake set in the fridge for 20 minutes. For the final coat, start applying cream on the sides using an offset spatula. Put some cream on top and start moving it from the middle towards the edges to cover the entire surface. To end up with straight edges, you have to hold the scraper at a 90-degree angle. One of the most common mistakes made by beginners is not holding the scraper straight, which results in uneven edges. Apply cream to fill the gaps and straighten them out once again. Remove the excess cream from the top. We are not spending too much time on the top because we will be covering it with ganache. For the drips, take the ganache and warm it up a bit over a double boiler or in the microwave. By warming up the ganache, it will have a flowy consistency. After warming, if you feel that the ganache is still thick, you can add 1 tablespoon of fresh cream and mix it well. Also, make sure that the ganache is not very hot, as hot ganache can melt the cream on the cake. Lukewarm ganache is fine. Transfer the ganache to a piping bag and start making the drips as shown. If you are a beginner, do this step very slowly. You don't have to press the piping bag, the ganache will flow on its own. Pipe the rest of the ganache on top and spread it gently using a palette knife. For the final piping on top, I have filled the mocha cream in a piping bag along with the star nozzle. Hold the piping bag straight and apply pressure from the back of the piping bag. You don't have to move the piping bag at all, just hold and press. This cake is super soft, the perfect combination of chocolate and coffee, and just so good. You can store this cake in the fridge for up to 5 to 6 days. After cutting the cake, make sure to store it in a cake box so that the layers don't dry out. The entire recipe is in the description box below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel. I'll see you with a new recipe. Happy baking and bye.